Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for, the Winter 2017 Holy Grail War. But before that, let's quickly see the results of the last Holy Grail War, Summer 2016. Apparently the Rider class fell out early because Benio from Twin Star Exorcist only had 7 votes. Tied for the next 2 dropouts was Archer Sorei from Tales of Zexteria and Assassin Kira Yoshigaki from JoJo's, because apparently not everyone watched JoJo's. You should watch JoJo's. It was a tough battle between the 4 remaining servants with 23 votes. Saber, Guts from Berserk, was knocked out of the arena, with King from 7 Deadly Sins Lancer quickly following with 26 votes. With 28 votes, we had, in second place, the slightly deranged Betelgeuse Romani Conti Berserker. And the winner of the summer 2016 Holy Grail War was the caster class, Shigeo Mob Kageyama from Mob Psycho 100 with 45 votes. Congratulations, use your wish well. In any case, now we're in winter 2017. Whole new list of characters. So of course, check the comment section where I will comment 7 comments with the names of the 7 servants. Just like a comment to vote for that comment and next season by the Holy Grail War, who will revise the victor of this one. Anyway, quickly some rules. I'm only going to include someone if they actually did something big in this season. I mean, if there's this long-running anime and there's this really epic character that's been around for the last 5 years, he's not going to make it to this list, probably. In any case, let's begin. The Saber class. Pakuyasa for being a freaking badass. Okay, fine, I'm just kidding. He's not there. Rin Okamura from Blue Exorcist. Now please note that I'm only doing 1 per anime, so the caster will probably not be Sugiro's father, no matter how much that pains me, and you'll see why. I have a way cooler caster. Rin Okamura is a pretty beast badass saber. Aside from his typical fighting style, his Koma sword and blue flame techniques, including his powerful noble phantasm turning him into this massive half-Satan monster guy, he is a force to be reckoned with. The Archer class. Megar Dugurcha from Yojo Senki, or Saga of Tanya the Evil. So I think Tanya is supposed to be Major Godogorshov. I'm pretty sure her first name is Tanya, but whatever, they don't really get into that much. In any case, she's the Archer class because she has some magical ability. However, primarily known for her noble phantasm, extreme magical input in her long-range attacks. The Lancer class. Okay, before I say the Lancer class, I just want to let you know, please don't be so upset at me for who I picked for the Lancer class, but there aren't a lot of Lancers, and this is actually pretty hilarious. Anyway, Hajime from Nambaka. Before you say,
wait, Nux! Hajime didn't have a lance, he fought barehanded. He should be Berserker.
I have a way cooler Berserker, and that's why he's not there. Why is he a Lancer? Because of his noble phantasm when he wields his brother as his lance. The 2 being an unstoppable force, with Hajime probably being One Punch Man level in fighting style, and with his brother being completely indestructible, making them the perfect team. Because he like swings around his brother like Lance and blows up stuff. It's wicked awesome. By the way, Nambaka's pretty good. I would suggest the show. Anyway, the Rider class. A class that involves riding something. Welcoming in Toru from Kobayashi-Sanchi no Maid Dragon. Toru is the Maid Dragon. So, she appears to be on the outside a totally nice, lovable maid. But really, she's from another world. And she is a dragon. Normally hating humans, she's decided to live among them for whatever reason. But that doesn't mean she's totally tame. With her noble phantasm turning her back into her dragon form to wreak havoc upon the planet and possibly bring the Armageddon, because she's like very powerful. One of the most powerful in this war, for sure. In any case, Caster, my personal favorite of all the servants and the one I'd want. Even though she probably, would be very difficult to deal with at many times. The caster is Megumin from Konosuba. I know you guys all saw it coming because I love Megumin because she's like the best character by far, almost ever. But in any case, Megumin's fighting style is almost not there. Megumin is a servant that can be used one way and one way only. In this Holy Grail War, her noble phantasm is by far the strongest. And it's called Explosion. It's an explosion so fierce, it can destroy the most dangerous and powerful of opponents. The issue is, after using this noble phantasm, she cannot do anything until the next day, and that's when she can unleash her noble phantasm once again. In other words, if her master isn't pretty freaking swift at grabbing her and pulling her out of danger after she blows something up, or they don't have a helicopter or something, she is going to be a very difficult servant to have. However, if used correctly, the Grail shall be yours. Berserker is none other than Big Mom from One Piece. Mostly the manga, because we didn't really see her in the series. Yeah. And while she did appear, yes, for like 3 seconds in the Fishman arc, shut up, because she didn't do anything in the Fishman arc. Now she's a villain. Before, she was just like some fat lady. Anyway. Big Mom, one of the most dangerous creatures of all time, whose noble phantasm can control souls and spirits. In other words, it appears as though she can have multiple noble phantasms by this one simple ability, especially with her 3 major weapons: Prometheus the Sun, Zeus of Thunder, and a really cool hat that can wield a sword somehow. These 3 are enough to take down any meager servant. Out of everyone, I hope Big Mom gets taken out fast, because I hate her as a character, even though she's freaking powerful. And finally, Assassin. The Assassin is an assassin from the series Tales of Zexteria the X, Rose. Starting off as an orphan, she joins a group of assassins and becomes one of the greatest among the Scattered Bones. She has no powers aside from her noble phantasm to summon Dazel the Wind Seraph to her side to aid her in her battle. So yes, technically Dazel's really the main servant in this case. I just put Rose here because it's cooler. Anyway, so this is really, including the Master, a 3-man team, with Rose being the servant, but Dazel being her servant that can be summoned via noble phantasm. And he's a force to be reckoned with as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to vote below who will be the winner of this season's Holy Grail War. And of course, if I forgot any servants or misplaced any servants, feel free to comment and let me know what I forgot or misplaced. But keep in mind that if, let's say, you want Darknesu from Konosuba to be the Saber, realize then you can't have Megumin as the caster, so you'd have to fit something else in there. That just being an example, even though Darkness would be a pretty crappy servant. But whatever. So, that is all for this season. May the best servant win.